Everybody ready? Good. Then let's get going. Nearly forgot you guys. Hey everyone, a really warm welcome back. Thanks so much for your company. Thanks for joining in with a video today. So today's video is the last in the little mini series about a 2-year refresh on the caravan. Just little jobs that help keep it fresh and livable and wonderful because the shell is still perfect for us. So today's video is 3 just little jobs that needed doing, a couple of things to correct some stuff or make life easier to live with in here, and one all about these wonderful cushions. I absolutely adore these things. They're so soft and so smooth. Might even be my favorite thing in here, but having these things in here, you know, just makes it an even more special place to be. Anyway, you will have seen reference to some of the projects in other videos. I guess in Hollywood that's called Easter eggs, isn't it? Anyway, let's get into the video and see what I've been up to. But we are plagued with the standard problem that it's far too dark in here. So I'm going to try some of these strip lights with a stick-on 3M piece on the back. So the IKEA ones are great, but they have a habit of falling off every time we go anywhere because they're magnetic, so that it's like an earthquake when we're towing anywhere. So we'll give these a go and see if these work any better. So, step 1, some batteries. These take 4 AAAs. I'll pop those in. Positive end first. No, apparently negative end first. So invariably I use rechargeable batteries. Wow, that's quite light. I don't think this thing actually has an off. Crikey, right. Okay, it's got a protective strip across the lighting there. It's probably causing havoc with the camera. See if we can get this glue strip off. Now I'll put the light inside. And those there. Now, maybe the safest place for this is just down the side here actually. And it won't get knocked by anything going in and out of the cupboard. Okay, actually I think it means I only need one. Okay, that's pretty bright. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, excuse me. Doesn't pick up as quick as the others, but it picks up. Okay, so see if I can sort the rest of this cupboard out now. See you later. Well, I'm pleased to say that that little strip light worked out really well, and I put the other one in the opposite cupboard, so the cupboard that's directly under the sink, and both of those cupboards are over the top of the wheel arches. So they've been working brilliantly. You know, they haven't fallen off a single time. I alluded in the captions that I'd put some other little lights from IKEA in the wardrobe, and they are constantly falling off. So the magnets on those are not very good, but the ones that I've put in the wardrobe cupboards and the kitchen cupboard down at the bottom there, the ones you saw in the video, seem to be working out really well. And there's a couple of links down in the description if you want to pick up the same sort of thing. I think the design's been updated slightly since I purchased those, so I've tried to pick out what I think is the closest thing. But yeah, it works absolutely brilliantly. You know, it's fantastic to be able to see what you're actually trying to get in and out of the cupboard, and in such a small space. You know, it doesn't pick up a lot of natural light because everything's quite close, and it's not so easy for the light to get in there. So it's fantastic to have that artificial light. Makes stuff much more practical and easy and workable. So that's great. Now the next project was actually something I tried before I put these grey cushion covers onto the cushions themselves, because those of you who have ever encountered small people and their wiggly bottoms will know full well that cushions like this can shift so easily, and the boxes for these seats are actually the same sort of plywood that I think is used on the wall. So because it's plywood, it's not slatted and there's nothing to stop the cushion moving around. It's very slippery, and so the cushions were forever heading that way and slipping off of the seat. And of course, as soon as they go that way, then these drop behind, and it all just becomes a bit of a palaver, you know. Nothing serious, but just slightly annoying. So I thought I'd try and correct that slight annoyance by sticking a strip of Velcro and using just a few staples to hold it in place. And I tested it out with the original cushions because they had this different sort of lining on the bottom, so quite robust, but soft lining, which I think was half the problem because that was very slippery as well. And that stuck down really well. So when I made these covers, I actually stitched in a wider strip of the Velcro to stick the things together, and they haven't moved since. So that is a great victory. Of course, it makes it slightly more awkward when it comes to getting into the seat boxes themselves, but because of course as you lift the curtain you have to unclip it from the Velcro, so you know you have to rip it off with a sort of noise, but that hardly ever happens compared to how often the seat cushions were coming off the base. So anyway, let's get into it, and you'll see I've got a little helper who is destined for a great career in the building industry, so I've had to put a few blocking symbols in a few places. Anyway, let's get into it. So we need the scissors as well.
And the staple gun.
Yeah, let's first stick it and then we'll staple gun it to stop it wobbling. And we take the cushions off. Now it's quite important, we want to get it in a nice straight line so it looks tidy.
Yes, I have peeled off the first
Okay,
bit.
so can I line it up?
Yes.
Yeah? So let's start at that end. I think if we put it about... Now we need to still be able to get to the screws. So if we put it about there, and we need to stretch it nice and tight. Do you want to peel it? I can use those as a guide. Okay, just hang on, don't push it down immediately. Just wait. Now, can you take your hands off please for a minute, because I can't actually see. Oh, right, re-stick that at that end please.
Oh, not over the
Not
screw.
over the screws, correct. Right, hold it tight your end, so I can get it down. Okay, now press it down please. Perfect, gently so you don't hurt your hands. Right, let's measure approximately the length.
I'll get ready to staple gun this end.
Just wait a minute. Okay, take the coating off. Make sure it's staying nice and straight.
Clearly these screws are
Clearly
in
not
different
quite
places.
straight, but all the screws are in different places, yes.
Right, should I?
Hang on, let's tidy up our work area first, one thing at a time. Also, we need to check what length staples we've got in there, because we don't want the big ones that we were using last time.
So,
We need these short ones that I've
what
got.
do you do?
Hang on, and I'll show you.
Push it?
You don't do anything for a minute, please, I'll show
Okay.
you.
We've got 6mm.
How would you know?
staples.
Oh, good, clever.
It says 6mm. Or quarter inch.
Hang on then. Let's do quality control so we double check each other. Make sure your fingers are away, hand on the top, that's it, and press down in one go. Good. Okay, has it gone in?
Yep, it's
Right,
gone in.
so let's do one at this end. do a middle one and then we'll double check underneath, alright? Okay, come off the seat please. Sit down, lift up. Check underneath, make sure we're not going through. No, perfect. Okay. That's
now
great.
Should we do some more?
Yes.
A few more. May I?
So always point it away from you. Back down, hand on the top first, so you're holding it still. Good boy.
Any more?
Yeah,
Any
I think we'll put one about every 20 centimetres.
Is that about there?
So about in the middle of the two there, that's it. Okay.
About here?
Yeah, actually hang on, let's try and get two in there. So we'll go about there. That's it, and then another one further up. Okay, and one last one on the end. Nice and in the middle, imagine where the middle is. Okay, good boy.
There was a bit more that way than
Well,
that
that's
way.
alright, it's underneath, we just want it to be roughly tidy. Okay, that is not moving. Ah, at last. Oops, careful.
Are you recording me?
Yeah, for a minute. Okay, so just attach it on one end. That's it. So let's measure out and then cut it first. Now, do you want to do the advanced version? So hang on, but keep it high so you're not sticking it down. So peel it all the way off. I'll hold this end. You get the far end and then set the far end down so that it's in a straight. Mind your knees so it doesn't get fluffy. Okay, now look down that, make sure it's in a straight line, and then stick your far end down and then press the middle. That's it, brilliant. Okay, well done, my love. Right, a few staple guns. All right, well, you see what I mean about he has a great future ahead of him as a builder. Anyway, as I said, it works really, really well. So I'm glad we put this little bit of Velcro in to hold everything into place. So that's great. And then the last little project is, as I said, about these things. Oh, my goodness. They are just wonderful. They are so soft. You know, it really makes it a nice place to sit up here, comfy, and this, you know, such a tactile fabric. It's fantastic. And I have to say thanks to my sister, because it was her that introduced me to these things. So these are, I think, called Riva Pavioli Meridians. Anyway, I'll put a link below. And this is the brand of the cushion, and my sister has these in hot pink with green, and I've gone for green with hot pink. But oh my goodness, they're wonderful. But there was a small problem when they turned up, so let's get into the video and see exactly what the problem was and what I did about it. Now, can you see the one potential flaw with these cushion covers? Yep, that's it. They are massive, 55 centimeters square to be precise, and that looked utterly ridiculous when I tried them in the caravan. So at first, as you saw, I thought I'd make them a lot shorter and a little bit narrower, just to make a smaller rectangular cushion. But once I'd done that, I tried them out in the caravan and they just didn't look quite right. It was just a little bit too small. I also ended up making my own cushion inners, just because I happen to have loads of spare fabric and a load of toy stuffing left over from some other projects. So it's a good job really though, because of course these have turned out as completely non-standard size cushions. So next off, I tried keeping one side at 55 centimeters and then just shrinking the height. And so it became more like a slightly small pillow shape type thing. And that was about the same width as the seat cushions themselves, so it's absolutely perfect. So in terms of how I actually did this restitching, obviously I couldn't just re-sew the cushion in its shorter rectangular format because it has this really funky, bright contrasty piping around the edge. So I had to unpick 3 of the seams, or almost 3 of the seams, and then restitch the piping into the new position and then sew it all back together. If you want to see how to deal with piping, then please go back to episode 1 in this little mini series, and there's lots of detail there about how to get piping through a sewing machine and how to make it look good. So there we go. That's how the larger modified ones look. I ended up making 3 large and 1 small. That's probably 1 small too many. That was my trial one at the beginning that wasn't quite right. Because we've only got 3 corner type sitting opportunities in the dinette at the front, but that's okay. These are fabulous cushions, and so the little spare one is now in pride of place in my home office and is looking good there. Alright, so that is cushions sorted. Now, I mean, it sounds a bit silly, right, worrying about cushions, but it's such a small space. It's so important that everything in here, you know, makes you happy. There can't be any annoyances because everything is constantly in your face all the time. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but there are quite a lot of nicer things in here than there are in the house. In the house, you know, I'll probably settle for old saucepans or old stirrers or older something or another. But in the caravan, it's got to be just so. You know, okay, it's not acceptable. Just so is how we want it in such a small space because it's so in your face. It's really important to get everything right. Anyway, on that note, thanks so much for joining me. You know, wonderful to have your company on the channel, and especially thanks to everybody who's subscribed. I think all the watchers of the videos are about 20% subscribers, so a massive thanks to you guys who have been supporting the channel for a long time. I know many of you have been here since the beginning, so thank you so much for that. You know, really appreciate your support here. So that is the end of the little mini series. I hope you enjoyed watching the little refresh projects that I got into and some of the ways in which I tried to inject a bit more personality in here. Hope you enjoyed the series. Thanks so much for your support, and I guess for now, it's bye for now. So I'll see you next time.